Hey, Jury family. I hope everyone is having a beautiful and blessed Sunday. Pardon me if my voice is scratchy. The pollen season is kicking my butt, but I'm happy and in good spirits. And I wanted to do a follow up on watching in real time a celebrity fumble a bag because he is scared and shook of the Kardashians. Without further ado, let's get into the legalities of Ray J fumbling a $1 billion bag. So, y'all, this all started a few months ago when Ray J basically arrested the attention of the entire internet, took over Bill Gates' internet for about 2.5, 3 hours while he was live in the Dominican Republic. And he was going off. He was going off about 20 years of defamation and his reputation being denigrated by the Kardashian crew and all the affiliates adjacent to the Kardashians. So even if you did or didn't like Ray J, people naturally empathize with him because we watched the defamation. So this across socio and political lines, Ray J did something even politicians can't do. He unified the people because everyone had his back. So everyone was thinking Ray J is going to take on the Klan, as they titled themselves. And people galvanized to espouse their support on the internet, on social media, and really plant those seeds about his potential for success in litigation. And Ray J emphasized in his rant that his name was trash, y'all, in Hollywood. So he had to figure out other avenues to become wealthy. And let me just throw a little bit of shade. He is wealthy, with $10, $15 million net worth. And I was not able to find any information about his contributions to the Black community or supporting Black women and girls in any capacity, any charity, per the usual with these Black male celebrities. But back to it. So Ray J threatens to sue Kim Kardashian after she insinuates that he was going to SA her. And she did this on a public medium on Hulu. And he's like, this is not okay. Even though he was going through a divorce at the time, he was like, I'm still a married man. I have a family. Be respectful. He really was just asking or pleading, begging that Kim and the Kardashians fall back off of besmirching his name. So again, all legitimate. All things me as an attorney, I would say these are fair requests. You have a right for someone not to besmirch your name and tear you apart. So we all watched Ray J have his full-blown meltdown. And also he talked about possibilities of pursuing, legal remedy to recompense and recoup his losses. Y'all, excuse me, I had to clear my throat. I'm telling you, so scratchy from the pollen. So he went and looked at, all the ways, or he had the public bring to light all the ways he was kind of stunted in Hollywood. And we never noticed this because he worked so hard. So of course, people had Ray J's back again. And y'all know Court Chronicles. I'm not a fan of any of these celebrities. I tell you, don't look up to any of them. But in this situation, just purely on the legalities, I was 100% there. Like, yeah, this is wrong. You don't get to accuse someone of SA and besmirch your reputation for 20 years. But I guess if you're a Black man and it's an exotical preference with a last name that starts with a K, she can do whatever she wants to you. And you won't file a lawsuit. So Ray J, after everything happened in the DR, his divorce was finalized. He popped out some Beijing and dyed his hair blonde like a real bad bee. And then he started acting crazy in the public, fighting Raspy. And I'm not talking about his mental health stint. I'm not talking about that at all, just separating that totally. But just acting wild, acting unruly, rambunctious, and pretty much attention whoring. And meanwhile, everyone's looking very seriously like, Ray J, what are you doing? You need to focus on this lawsuit at hand. But then I begin to ponder. Did Ray J do all of this just to get our attention off Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears? Because it was at the height. It was at the height of that, outrage that the public was experiencing in response to Tiffany Haddish and Aries for their pedophilic proclivities. And that's when Ray J distracted everyone's attention and went off. And he also put on Twitter how he was not going to relent until his name was cleared. I mean, Ray J was supposed to be in paradise, but baby, it was trouble in paradise when he snapped in the DR. I mean, my mom doesn't even follow pop culture, and she heard about Ray J in the Dominican Republic. Literally, he released receipts to substantiate what he was saying, because he was saying that Kris Jenner orchestrated the entire S tape release. She reviewed it, she picked out the best angles, snap, pose, twirl it in a circle 2 times and on an 8 count. So she was the director and producer of this situation. He showed the contract. He talked about how they each received compensation for their performance in this corn show, if you will. So none of it was against Kim's will. And he was saying that with him being a father, that's disruptive, not only to his reputation, but to his life. And reminded Kim that she got a husband. So in this saga, he goes off. Everyone's invested. Everyone rah-rah. It's like the Super Bowl. Pick a team, and literally it was 99-1. So at this point, from a legal perspective, I'm hoping Ray J would have started collecting his ammunition and speaking with legal counsel. But once he went off the rails fighting and just in the media wilding out and doing celebrity publicity stunts, I think it really detracted from the ammunition of him dropping the bombshell that Kris and Kim were the ones who released the tape. And in doing so, dropping this bombshell, he opened the door for $1 billion lawsuit. He opened the door for compensation. He opened the door for injunctions. He opened the door for cease and desist. And an injunction is just a cease and desist on steroids, because the cease and desist is your attorney sending a letter to someone saying stop it. But an injunction is the judge saying stop it. So it's even more impactful. So he opened the door to the legalities that everyone had in the back of their mind. And when I tell you, baby, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter again, it wasn't anywhere, even E! News. I mean, it was what, Washington Post, everyone covered Ray J's snapping. If viral was a word, he did it. He broke the internet that day. So naturally, analyzing the legalities, I started to ponder, what would it cost if a jury had to face the Kardashians versus Ray J? And defamation is just simply stating or publishing a false statement, and it results in harm. It's a very simple definition, and Ray J could legitimately demonstrate that he was turned away, denied opportunities due to the defamation imposed upon him by this entire empire. He would have a legitimate opportunity to ask the jury to make a determination on how much he should be awarded. Because when you're in court, the lawyers present the case, the judge keeps the order, but the jury is the one that decides the verdict. So Kourt Chronicles, we hosted a jury poll when this was happening at the height of everything. And literally, I was shocked, but 61% said that they would award if they were a jury. So in the court of public opinion, literally 61% of people said Ray J will be awarded $1 billion. Astronomical. And even though that may sound like it's hyperbolic, it's not. $1 billion verdicts are common in very extenuating cases. Like there was a great case in Georgia where it was $1 billion verdict against a security guard in a security company for raping a teenage girl. So it happens. Now, yes, they will appeal and fight it, but literally in a court of law, most people, regardless of whether you like Ray J or Kim K personally, when they sit in the jury box, they adhere to the ultimate request of a judge, which is to be fair and impartial. If you can't do that, let us know so we can boot you up on out of here and get another jury and decide what is the value of your reputation being lambasted. And everyone was voting, click, 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 click. And people were saying that the $1 billion number was it. Now, you know, you got to get your attorney's fees. Ray J, pay your legal team. But literally, that type of money is an incentivizer or a disincentivizer for people like the Kardashians to back down. But Ray J still hasn't filed a lawsuit, and the web was still talking. So in the case of Ray J versus Kimberly Kardashian, when you look at the legal threshold of defamation, because the Kardashians chronicle everything in their life, it would not be hard at all for him to put together a very rock solid case showing how he was defamed. But he still has not done it. And people say defamation is hard to prove. If the statement is intentional, if it's false, if it's not privileged, meaning you and like a medical professional or your attorney, your psychiatrist, those protected relationships, and it has a tendency to cause injury, you are eligible to be compensated for the defamation. But Ray J still took the moment to seize everyone's attention and do nothing because we were supposed to be seeing some courtroom action by now, some motions and lawsuits and complaints being filed at the Stanley Moss courthouse. Black China has already showed us that the Kardashians have to answer to subpoenas and lawsuits just like anyone else. They are not above the law. But what is it about the Kardashians that keep Black men on a leash? Because no matter how bad they dog them out, these men never go for the gusto as far as getting civil recompense for the damage that this entire family wreaks havoc on most people's reputation and lives. So I'm just confused. So Ray J is just shook. He's so scared of the exotical preferences, aka the Kardashian clan, that he refuses to take action on $1 billion lawsuit. And look, anybody can front, but everyone will agree $1 billion is going to change your life, your family's life, and about every generation under your life if you're not tricking off your money doing crazy stuff. So we have a case of a man who is so enthralled with getting the attention of his ex-girlfriend, merely a little snack, a pat on the head, Ray J, we see you, that will subdue him enough to forego pursuing legalities that could be an avenue for $1 billion. Like, wow. I don't know what type of voodoo hoodoo the Wicked Witches of the West, aka the Kardashians, do on Black men, but it has to be powerful because we have men foregoing $1 billion opportunities because they are so shook of these women. It's embarrassing. Ray J needs to put his big boy pants on if he has any, put his chest up, and pursue this litigation, or dare I say, and this is very boldly, stop talking about it. Stop talking about how this large monstrosity of a family, as far as social cachet and social bandwidth, really, really tore you down and have you downtrodden. Like at this point, Ray J, you can't resurrect this narrative anymore. You've ran this play more than enough. It's either put up or shut up. Either file a lawsuit or don't talk about it anymore. Because the fear that you have of the Kardashians is all smoke and mirrors. So you're gonna let smoke and mirrors stop you from getting $1 billion bag. You are fumbling the bag in real time. So with this particular case, or the lack thereof, because Ray J hasn't taken any action because he's too smitten by his exotical preference from back in the day, in this particular scenario, there is a statute of limitations that he will have. And there was a question about, and this is very interesting. The question will be, would the statute of limitations run from the original statement or from the last time they played it by way on the airwaves, broadcasted it, admitting the show to 115 countries? So I think that's a legal technicality that could buy them some time. But overall, the Hollywood streets are talking. You don't get to take over the entire internet, threaten and say what you're going to do and do nothing. A man with empty promises and empty threats is a coward. There's nothing scary about a lawsuit, especially when you have the means like Ray J. And frankly, y'all, it ain't like Ray J's doing the hard work. It would be the attorneys and his legal team. He would, give them documents, answer questions. But I think Ray J is fearful of the Kardashians, but also still trying to keep a slight end to be around these women because we know how infatuated Black male celebrities are with the Kardashians, regardless of how ran through they are. So Kim throws out her hoodoo voodoo, and the next thing you know, Ray J loses it in the media, spazzes out, and then goes quiet. So with this particular situation, y'all, we have a Black man making $1 billion fumble because he's too afraid to stand up to an ex-exotical preference who's a has-been. It is sad to watch. It is disappointing. And he needs to stand up, black man, because I'm telling you, ain't nobody coming to save you, G. You got to save yourself. And also, y'all, this is a black man with a large net worth. He needs to donate to the black community. He wants our support when he's mad at them. Where's his support when we need him? So thank you so much, guys. Y'all, that has been everything. Please weigh in. Let me know what you think about Ray J pretty much just going silent after making this big fuss, getting everybody to support him. All of us were so excited to see some action. Part two, and it's three things. Part two, what do you think about Ray J not doing anything in the black community with his mass amount of wealth? This is common with black male celebrities, and I'm tired of it. So I gotta call him out. And number three, do you think Ray J is going to do something and he's just sitting quiet and maybe playing a long game, which I highly doubt. I think Ray J is hoping that he'll get invited over to Calabasas and have a tea party instead. So that's all I got, jury family. Let me know what y'all think. Love you so much. Hit the like, join, and subscribe button where we break down the legal tea, where it crosses with pop culture, and we also look at the sociology of the culture.